Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has raised plans of full occupation of Gaza, and they are creating tremors. On one hand, Netanyahu's aides are upping the ante to fully occupy the Palestinian enclave, and on the other, dissent against Netanyahu's government is growing by the hour. Nearly 2 years of war has completely devastated the Palestinian enclave. The visuals on your screens show the gravity of destruction. Where once buildings stood tall, now lies a pile of dust. Week after week, Israelis are protesting outside Netanyahu's office, demanding a ceasefire. President Trump declined to say whether he supported or opposed the move of his ally and said his administration's focus was on increasing food access to the Palestinian enclave. The president has left the question of occupation in Israel's hands.
As you know, $60 million was given by the United States fairly recently to supply food, and a lot of food, frankly, for the people of Gaza that are obviously not doing too well with the food. And I know Israel's going to help us with that in terms of distribution and also money. We also have the Arab states are going to help us with that in terms of the money and possibly distribution. So that's what I'm focused on. As far as the rest of it, I really can't say. That's going to be pretty much up to Israel. Yeah.
Israel's defense minister says the military will have to execute any government decisions on Gaza. Reports also suggest Netanyahu and his cabinet would order a full military occupation of Gaza, sparking dissension or dissent from the army's chief of staff, Eyal Zamir. The situation on the ground is dire. Here are the visuals from central Gaza, where an aid truck overturned on a crowd of aid seekers near the Nuseirat refugee camp. At least 20 people were killed in that incident. Doctors have a term for the state of the recovery rooms of Gaza's Shifa hospital. They call it a highly uncontrolled environment. Nothing is sterilized. Doctors wash instruments with soap. Infections are rampant. The stench of waste and accumulated filth is overwhelming.
These are our memories. All of them were destroyed. The occupation destroyed everything. But thank God, I began at Shifa Hospital, and here I am again in Shifa after an absence of 450 days.
With little fuel, there is no electricity and no ventilation. Frequent bombings and raids have become the new normal in Gaza's medical fraternity. Joe Federman from the Associated Press has more details.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is debating whether to intensify Israel's war in Gaza. Israel launched this war nearly 2 years ago in response to Hamas's October 7th attacks. Since that time, the offensive has caused widespread destruction across Gaza. In fact, Gaza health authorities say that the death toll has now risen above 61,000 Palestinians. But with ceasefire efforts deadlocked, Netanyahu is now consulting with his top security advisors, and they are debating whether to order a full reoccupation of Gaza.